Welcome back to Truth Bomber TV. We're talking about the conspiracy of hate today because we're in a battle between two forces, narcissists and empaths, and both of them are designed to be messengers and teachers to each other because we are all energy from the same source, just using Earth to work out all these little issues we have. So, the energetic field has consequences for self-hate. And when I first started having experiences with energy, I started to put together what is going on when someone would say something to somebody and it was something that they hated about themselves. The energetic field would not only collapse, but it would be a wave of ickies, feeling icky, just completely zaps the energetic field. And so I started to put together what was going on with this. And it would always be an area of somewhere the person criticized, critiqued, and hated themselves. So, for example, if you're an overthinker and someone says, "Oh my God, you're just always overthinking everything," then that person's energetic field, if they had the matching inner wound, would collapse and actually work like a zapping system. Like if you want to step into your microwave for a second, imagine what that would feel like. And so the two people are playing out these games in order for one to be the messenger to each other. So life will roll around to trap us with these areas of hate. And the laws of attraction keep bringing us into situations that we call these repeat patterns, where the same thing keeps happening over and over in order to show us something. So it's important to understand that narcissists are designed to criticize and critique people without any compassion for them in order to point out the areas of self-hate. So if you over emotionally react to someone criticizing and critiquing you, you can use it like a roadmap. Is this something that I hate about myself, that I have my own issues about? And narcissists will lie and inflate the truth to make you feel even worse. So if you do have an issue, it will be blown out of proportion in order to just really rub salt in the wounds. Empaths have the same running order, except for they will lie and minimize the truth to make people feel better. So if someone has a weight issue and they say, "Oh, I feel so fat," the empath will say, "Oh, you're not fat, you look good," because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But what we have to do is balance out the narcissist and the empath and be lovingly compassionate and truthful and find the reality in the middle. And when you understand how you lie and deflate and how the narcissists lie and inflate, then you can hold them in unconditional love and compassion. And when you realize that all these games are being played between people in order to be messengers of the self work they need to do, you don't make any judgments of anything. And that releases the karma that's happening. So it's important to do all these different elements can come from one situation, and staying in a non-gentle, judgmental, compassionate state can really open you up to more experiences and open up your energetic field. So science concurs with this energy of hate. And this is some work from Dr. Emoto. He looks at water molecules, and when they are directed with different words, different feelings, what happens to the structure of the water molecule? And we are just basically made up of molecules. And so our energetic fields are fluctuating and doing these different things according to what's coming in. So when we look at these charts of thank you and love and gratitude and how beautiful the structure is, when we are in these emotions in these states, we are also reflecting this structure. And when we get into these different harder hate and anger, you disgust me. It brings our vibrations and it creates this energetic force that completely disrupts the molecular structure. So it all goes together, the experiences, the feeling, energy, the science behind it. Even when we look at normal cells and how their structure is compared to cancerous cells, the normal structures have a very well bound, neatly knit pattern, whereas cancerous cells look like these pictures, like heavy metal songs, you disgust me, I hate you. It all has a consequence. And so the suffering is on an emotional level, a physical level, a spiritual level, a mental level. It all goes together. So the narcissist's spiritual purpose is to drop us into a physical body in a world full of lies and illusions, find your way back to the truth, and work out any negative emotions you have within yourself. Use outside people as messengers and your world to do this balancing and soul work, because our worlds are all about us and they're all coming to us through the laws of attraction on what our inner issues are. So the creator doesn't judge or hate or any of these things. It's this constant energetic frequency and state that is unconditional love, forgiveness, gratitude, peace, bliss. And the ego is full of all of these decisions and judgments and ideals based on our ignorance of the true laws of the universe and how to do soul work, how to work through these emotions. So we have to have narcissists right now, like bloodhounds, looking to sniff out these inner judgments, inner weaknesses, divisions, self-hate. And if we don't have some kind of a force creating some kind of suffering, then we will never seek to do the inner work and the inner healing that we need to do. So I wanted to use sexuality as an example because we got to get to a new place with sexuality. How to understand the dynamics of why do we have all these different sexualities. We have heterosexuals, transgenders, homosexuals. We have all kinds of different things about what category to put people in, and this all invites the ego to decide what's right and wrong. If you hate gay people or fall into some sort of judgment trap, you continue the cycle. And it's the other opposite side of the coin as well, is if you are the one that hates people that judge gay people, then you're still in the trap. So getting outside of this cycle and dynamics involves being unconditional, loving, complete compassion on both sides. So you might incarnate in your next lifetime as a gay person. If you are full of hate, then you must become what you hate. Or you might have a family member who's transgender. It's the same repeat patterns of the spiritual test to put it out there. Have you learned what you needed to know yet? The creator's checking to see if you've evolved beyond division and hate and moved into unconditional love and compassion. So this is how we have these energetic fields, which is the core and soul of all of us, and the physical body that is this illusion that we need to create division between us so that we can figure out where all of these inner issues are at. And it looks like it's outside of us, but it's really inside of us. So when you resolved all your karma, you remain in complete compassion and non-judgment for all sides. You see its purpose. Everything is working in its perfect order. Because if you are gay and someone criticizes you about being gay, you still have self-work to do. You are still going up and down according to the judgments and criticisms of other people. This is developing your self-love. This is where you're deciding that I am pure, I am beautiful, I am healthy, and I am whole, regardless of what anyone else thinks. And once you get to that point and you see your emotional reactions to other people as a window to your own inner healing work that you need to do, you hold them in gratitude and unconditional love and forgiveness because they've made you stronger, number one, and because you realize they need to be the way they are in order to send you these messages and to move into this inner strength that you do not go up and down according to society's ideals or whatever it is the ego says is right and wrong. All of these things are just created by the inner beast. And this is releasing karma, is understanding that both sides have a role to play for each other, and everyone is attracting back to their reality what they need to know. When you've deeply healed and evolved, if someone criticizes or critiques you about being gay and you are gay, you no longer emotionally react, except for holding them in unconditional love and compassion, because you most likely have been that person in one of your lifetimes. And if you're the outside person where you are in between these two areas, then you may be incarnated in a heterosexual body, but you're designed to hold all sides in unconditional love and compassion and knowing their spiritual purpose. So I've got a past life regression. I'm going to start putting some of my sessions on my YouTube site on a separate playlist called Past Life Regression Hypnosis, and it really expounds on this fact and the subconscious voice coming through to this area where we're going to get to be, where there is no judgments about sexuality. But what needs to happen is both sides need to heal and evolve. And once we get to that point or that state of being, if someone is doing things to get attention and there's no longer any intention or judgments or hate or anger for it, then everything will fall away. Any sort of things going on just to get attention or however you want to call it, how we all in the ego wants to say, look at me, look at me, look at me, will just fall away into this oneness and wholeness. So I hope that's helped you to understand how to find your self-hate and use people in your life as messengers. So see what you hold on to, what you emotionally react to, if you are on one side or the other of the sexuality issue, or however it evolves in your life. Use your world to see what's happening and what needs to come back and be healed, evolved, and up-leveled. So if we want to evolve the planet and we are the fixers, healers, and solvers, let's start looking for our emotional triggers. Let's start seeing what other people do that make us pull into negative emotions, and then what we need to do in order to do the self-work to get out of these patterns. So next time someone says something to you that hits you or makes you emotionally react or hurts your feelings, see what's going on inside yourself. If we can't avoid ourselves by diverting things into busy, crazy patterns of running here and running there and going everywhere, we're stuck at home with coronavirus. And it's almost like if people don't start doing their self-work, this could lead to a huge crisis, a huge health crisis, mental crisis, emotional crisis. Because if we just sit in our self-hate or hate itself, it's like sticking yourself in a microwave and asking your body to function right. And in my experience with my own self-hate, it is linked to depression, suicidal thoughts, low energy, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, allergies, a host of autoimmune disorders, because it has such a big effect on our health. And these are my experiences with energy and consciousness. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not trying to make any health claims, diagnose, or treat anyone. I'm just saying these are my experiences and what has happened for me. And hopefully this will help people to see what is going on with them. We've got to start looking at our reality as a mirror and everything as a messenger. All of this is a working out of these inner issues. So if you hate yourself about something, then you put yourself in this terrible vice grip, and you've got to unconditionally love yourself. And in the example of sexuality, if you're gay and you can't come out about it, and you're in a heterosexual relationship, and you just sit there and hate yourself about it, it is going to be so hard on your body. Move into unconditional love, and then move out of the dysfunctional patterns where you can come into who you are, acknowledge it to the world and everyone around you. That's just one example that I'm trying to use. I'm going to try to use different examples of emotional issues in all of the different videos, pick some other topic in order to start making these connections so that we can help evolve the planet and our own consciousness. So thanks for watching. You can check me out. My website is www.narcissistnirvana.com, and I've got a couple of books that I am working on coming out. I have one already out that's about the pandemic survival that I'll link below. I'm going to run a free all weekend special, just trying to make this information available to everyone regardless of your financial situation. So thanks for watching. I will see you next Wednesday.